Hello and welcome to the mill. I am your host Dusty Crane, and today I thought I would do something a little bit different. I don't want to walk through the Automa rulebook step by step by step by step by step. For some reason, this Automa, as I was trying to think of a way to explain it, it was one of those where I found myself just going, well, just let me play this move for you, and I'll show you what it does. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The Automa deck has already been built right here. I already have my first support guard showing. I haven't shown my action card yet. I already have my player mat here set up with my starting position. And let's start with the Automa deck. The Automa deck itself is in this case, I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead, and I've actually added all the add-in decks. The Automa deck itself is, 6 cards it starts with, and then you create add-in decks to basically enhance the Automa's ability, make it a little more aggressive, and you do that 2 times. And the instructions on how to build the Automa deck are in the rules, so I won't get into that too much, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm not going to play anything that even resembles a smart game of Euphoria. For the human side, I'm going to start by rolling my workers. I got a 4 and a 2. I'm going to go ahead and say that I want some water, so I'm going to go ahead and go here, and I'm going to get a water token, and I am going to move this track right here. All right, that's my turn. Now for the Automa's worker, or the Automa's movement. So how the Automa card works here is we're really only paying any attention to these 2 columns right here. These are kind of act for supports for the other ones, but we're working in the middle. If we were supposed to remove something from the new Antique Bazaar, there'd be something there. If there was a camping symbol like that right there, it tells us how to behave if we're picking stuff up. I'm just going to go ahead and focus on this. So this right here means that it's this. Okay, so I guess let me further elaborate. This is the action that the black Automa is going to take, and this is the action that the white Automa is going to take. In this case, the black Automa is going to go to its own faction area, which in this case is Euphoria, and it's going to go to its artifacts? No, it's I'm sorry, its resources. So I'm going to go ahead, and because I'm going to my own, because the Automa is going to its own, it's going to use its lowest intelligence worker. So in this case, we have a 1 dice, and I'm going to go ahead and put that white. It is, like I said, it's in Euphoria, so it's going to go here. It doesn't get these resources, but it does move along the track, so that track moves forward. And that's it for black Automa. All right, let's go ahead and look at what the white Automa is going to do. The white Automa right here is going to visit either the tunnel or the breeze bar. In this case, this icon right here means the breeze bar. You can see the little cards match. That's if we are going to, if this was for the Icarites. However, we're going to our own faction right here, which for the white Automa is Subterran. So we're going to go ahead and, again, we're using well, actually, we're not visiting commandant area. We'll just put a dice there on the tunnel there for the Subterran, and it's going to use that. It will move the tunnel worker, and that's it. That's all it gains. It's now my turn. I have, if I put my 4 here, I can still get another water, which I'll do, and it'll also make me, less intelligent. So I'm going to do that. Now let's go ahead, and this card slides away and is out of use, and this card right here slides down. It's the new support card, this action card right here. All right, so now remember, we're only focusing on here. If we were retrieving workers on this turn, that would matter. We're not, so we don't have to worry about that camping icon right now. So the black worker is again going to go to its commodity space. So the black worker right here is in Euphoria. It's going to take its lowest number. It's going to go right there. And 4 still earns it a trip down this allegiance track. And that's it for the black worker. For the white worker, the Automa, it is going to go ahead, and this time it's actually visiting a new commodity market. It's going to the wastelands. It's not from the Wastelands itself. So it's going to actually take its highest value dice, and it's going to move that to the farm there. It does move the allegiance track along, but that's all it does. For me, I just have to retrieve workers, pretend I have another water. That's not really what we're focusing on here. And that is it for that one. For this slides down. And let's see what we got here. We're in a little tight space here. All right, so again, we still have dice. We're not really worried about that camping indicator. The black worker is again, or the black Automa is again going to go ahead and move to its own commodity market. So it's going to take the lowest because it is. And nothing happens. It doesn't have intelligence. It doesn't gain resources. So that's it for him. And for this one right here, we're going to the wasteland and we're going to dig a tunnel. So let's go ahead and take that one right there. It's going to the tunnel space right there. That's going to move further down the tunnel. And that is it for that turn. On my turn, I guess I would roll dice. And then I might decide to take my my number 5 here. And you know what? I'm just not going to show too much concern at all about, like I said, smart moves. I'm going to get another water. Assume I got 3. All right, that's my turn. Now, this is going to go over here. We're getting lucky with all these green ones we're drawing. So these green ones are kind of like the starter cards for the Automa, so they don't necessarily hurt us like the black cards, the white cards, or the purple cards. So again, we're working out of the middle. Right now, because it's a starting market, or the starting cards, it's not really meant to hurt us. In this case, we'll see now we're in a situation here. If there's only one dice left and the Automa is going to go to a commodity market, it's going to go ahead and just take back all of its workers. It's going to retrieve them, and you're going to go ahead and give them all another dice roll. And that's going to be its turn. It's just going to retrieve. It doesn't particularly hurt you. In this case, it's going to the Euphoria market. It's still the same situation where if it has just one dice left, then it's going to go ahead and retrieve. So it's going to bring its people off the board. And I'm going to roll those. And that is its turn. So nothing too spectacular there. That's going to slide away. That's going to slide down. I am going to take my turn. I have my 3 workers. I'm going to go ahead and splash some water on the face, and I'm going to go ahead and get a 3rd worker, and I'm going to move this to 3, and I am going to gain another worker. That's my turn. We're going to go ahead and, well, I guess I'm going to bump stuff first, but I'm going to go ahead and slide this down. Oh, actually, I had already flipped that over. So my apologies. Let me go ahead and explain what's going on here. This is the first time we've had this come up. So now that this has been revealed here, if we were retrieving workers right now, that would matter. However, we're not. We do have to deal with this right here. This is telling us how to work with the new Antique Bazaar. Now, if you are not using the new Antique Bazaar, because you can play this with just regular Euphoria, you don't have to use the Ignorance is Bliss expansion. It works just the same. However, in this case, this one right here tells us which card to take away. So in this case, we're taking this baseball bat. It's getting discarded. These slide down, and we're going to reveal a new artifact. Wrinkle. Jamie's book. If you didn't know that, that's a book Jamie wrote. It is not A Wrinkle in Time, which is what I thought it was, perhaps. And so we've taken care of this. Now on this black card, or for the black Automa, what we have here is it is going to visit, it's going to visit one of these artifact markets, and it's going to visit the artifact market in its own area. In this case, it's going to go to Euphoria. First thing it's actually going to look to do is see if there's any markets under construction, because if there are markets that are in construction, it's going to want to do similar to what a human player would. In this case, there aren't any, so it's going to go right here. It's going to go ahead and move it along the track, and it's going to go ahead and place its first star in the Euphorian territory. So that is, I mean, you can see that benefited the black Automa that has a black indicator in the top left hand corner. You kind of get the idea that if you get a white one, it's going to benefit the white Automa. The purple is dual and it benefits both of them. So those get painful once you're working with the full deck. But when you start, you're only working with the green, the 6 green cards. All right, let's see what we have here for the white Automa. The white Automa is going to go ahead and visit the commodity market in the Subterra region. So because white is also Subterran, it's going to use the lowest Automa, the lowest intelligence worker that it can. And in this case, we are at 6. Nothing happens. However, I guess if it was a lower number, he could have stopped me from benefiting in the future. But that is all of, the turn that we had there. I'm going to go ahead and bring my workers back, and I will go ahead and grab my third worker that I should have grabbed before. I'm not going to worry about the fact that I could have played it right now. I'm really just more interested in showing you guys the Automa itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just say like my third worker, I put it on the farm. Just for the sake of taking up space on the board. So let's go ahead and take this card and we're going to slide this down and we are going to do this right here. All right, we got another black card there. Again, we're only working out of the middle. There's nothing to do. We're not taking away any artifacts. We're not camping. However, the black Automa is going to go ahead and go to Euphoria, and it is going to, or the Euphorian area, and it's going to construct a market. It's going to start constructing a market. Now, how that works is it's going to go ahead and take one of its dice, and it is going to slide all the way down. It's going to take that bottommost space is how it decides what to do, and that is it for that move. Now the white one right here, if this had been Icarite, that's where you're going to start worrying about the fact that it says breeze bar. You see that these icons match each other. So like right here, the breeze bar, you would go and put your worker there. If they had one that had the sky lounge or the 2 commodities, or I forget what they're called, the gold, the gold or the silver or the brick, I think is what I'm thinking of here. And, or I guess it's iron? Doesn't matter. We're arguing colors. Anyway, yeah, so this white Automa is going to go ahead and it is visiting the wasteland in the tunnel. So it's going to go ahead and go to the wasteland in the tunnel. It is going to move this along, and that is its turn. I'm going to go ahead and place a worker right. Let's go ahead and we can see right here that, well, I guess that's not going to help me. I need some glasses. There's none available currently in the Antique Bazaar. I've used all my water when I got my worker. Let's pretend there. Let's say, I don't know, let's say I don't want to, well, I am actually Subterran. I'm going to go here so I can go ahead and move this along too. I am going to slide this one down and get a water again. We'll just put that right there. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. I'm going to slide that down. And, okay, all right, let's see here. We are getting rid of the freebie in the Antique Bazaar. And what that looks like is we'll go ahead and get rid of these balloons. I'm going to slide down. And come on, glasses. No, we got a copy of Viticulture, which are frankly better than glasses, but here we are. All right, so this is one of those dual cards I told you about. You see the light purple in the top left-hand corner. We already got rid of the first antique card. The black Automa is going to visit the artifact market. Or I'm sorry, artifact market. I got it right the first time. I got to quit down myself. So in his own territory in Euphoria, he's already there, and he can't bump himself. So we got a tiebreaker here. Let's see what that tiebreaker looks like. Now the tiebreaker works kind of like clockwork around the board, right? So it starts at the top in the Icarites, the Wastelanders, the Subterran, and back over here to Euphoria. So because this is occupied and I can't bump, not that it necessarily matters, but I'm going to go ahead and go to this antique market. I am going to move the Icarites over here. I had bumped that earlier. Let's say I bumped that too. I get to place another star. These Automa, especially these dual cards like this, gets painful. And that goes right there. The black Automa already has 2 out. All right, so now it is my turn. Or I'm sorry, it's the white Automa's turn. I almost took that away. And it's one of those dual ones, like I mentioned. How do we do this one? Okay, so we're working in our own territory. Subterran. Constructed market now. You would think that I would just go ahead and drop this down on the lowest. However, remember that these Automa want to work the way normal players would work. So if I saw a market under construction, I'm not going to start another market here because then I could get penalized. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here because one of the first checks you're going to do is say, hey, are there any markets under construction? And if so, then that's where I'm going. So because we're doing a 3-player game, this is actually built. And I'm going to take a penalty, but say I can't place a star in an empty territory. That is going to hurt a little bit. Let's go ahead and explore what would have happened, though, if I would have left this as is. And let's say on my next turn, we'll say that he had placed this down here. Let's say on my next turn, I did this market got built. We both get our stars there, a red and a black star. We'll put the red here and the black star there. The black player's just running away with this game. Now, how this would happen is the white player or the white Automa does not have is now getting a penalty. Now, the penalty is you don't use any of the market penalties for the Automa. You flip this card over, and what this means is when they collect their dice and they roll their dice, if they get a 6, then they have lost that dice. They don't get to use it this time around. So let's go ahead and see how this plays out. Again, I know this isn't... Jeez, I'm all over the place here. I know this isn't exactly the rules, obviously. I'm wanting to show you some examples here before our time is up. And this time around we got a green card. And actually this is good because I have one of each. And let's see, so the black worker here, the black Automa, is in Euphoria, but because he is going to a commodity market and he's got 1 left, he's going to go ahead and take back his dice. So he takes these back. I guess he technically would have had 1 because when we built the market, yeah, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and roll up these. And it really doesn't even matter because the Automa will always have its full number of dice. The only way it loses them is if it gets this penalty. So we're going to go ahead and say that we took this, now the white player, he's going to a commodity market. He's only got 1 dice left. We're going to go ahead and pick these up. We're going to take all 4. We're going to roll them. Oh, we didn't get any 6s. Let's try this again just for an example. Oh, man, again. What are the odds? I know someone out there knows. What is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that dice right there is going to go and the penalty. Those are lost. These are the dice I can place. This one is going to be trapped. And that is the end of this turn. I'm going to slide this down. And okay, so for this turn, we are again going to lose a artifact from the artifact market, or the antique bazaar. Lord, please don't worry too much about this terminology that I'm goofing. It's this bear that's going away based on what's highlighted there. We are going to go ahead and another bear. It's not glasses. It's fine. So we took care of that. If I was going to be retrieving any workers, let me go ahead and explain the camping spot while we still got a little bit of time here. If I was retrieving workers and I had a high value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at where I have my workers in these market areas, and whichever one has the highest value. Now this one's a 1. It's not so. If we're saying my particular dice, but it actually refers to the Automa dice. But let's say Automa had we'll say 3, 4, 5. So he's going to leave his 5 right here to. Essentially what it does is it kind of clogs this up. I'm not going to be able to move this any further. He obviously does this to markets that are not his own. He's going to leave his highest value dice out there in hopes of slowing down other people moving along the allegiance track. So that's what that camping iconography does. We've already taken care of this. Let's go back to the Black Automa's turn. He is going to visit his own commodity market, and he's going to visit with his lowest value dice because it is his area. So he's going to go ahead and take the the 1 and put it right there, and that is his turn. And now we're going to look at this bottom action here, and we have an artifact market for the Subterran, and he's gonna look to see if any markets are being constructed, because that's what he does, and there's not. So he's gonna go ahead and visit here, and he is gonna place his first star right here, and that is, we're also gonna move that because remember the Automa also gains any allegiance bumps. So that is the end of the white Automa's turn. That is going to go away. And yeah, I wanted to show you how really kind of easy to run this Automa it is. There are some little gotchas in terms of like, what dice am I leaving out if there's a camping icon, or what even though this says an artifact market, like I could actually jump in and help with the construction of a building. So there are a couple of little things there, but I'm telling you that as you continue to play with the Automa, it gets so just second nature. Like if I was not trying to explain things, most of my time would be spent trying to figure out my turn, how I'm going to maximize what I'm doing here. But yeah, I did play test this Automa, so I've got a little bit of experience with it. But from my very first experience with it, it was in this format here, and it just works so well, and it does such a good job of blocking you in certain cases, like an actual other player would, jumping into market building. It feels like another competitor, and I really like that. I like what it brings to the solo game where you play just 3 players, but I've also had a chance to play it with the 2 players and making it a 4-player game, and it just adds such a nice fills up the board and takes up space and gets in your way in all the right ways, but it's very easy to run. And so in that regard, I think the Automa Factory did a fantastic job with the Automa here. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I may have missed a few things here or there. If so, be sure to go ahead and drop it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great week ahead, and man, it's rough out there sometimes. Take care of each other. All right? I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.